Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Brass Monkey X. So, if you can't tell, we're in my car today. So every now and again, the steering wheel might get in the way. I don't have a good place to set up my phone, so it's on my dashboard here. But I just wanted to say thank you to all you guys for getting me to 500 subscribers. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a lot to most of you people. That's really not a lot. There's YouTubers out there with millions of subscribers, but for a guy like me, who I don't do social media, I'm not very good at it, I never thought there'd be 500 people out there in the world that actually want to hear what I have to say and will tune into my videos whenever I post them. So, I mean, I'm very excited to have my 500 subscribers. So, thank you guys. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me. So my channel, if you guys don't know, I'm all over the place with my content. I mean, that's pretty much how I live my life. Like, one week I'll be real into motorcycles, then the next week something will happen, and you'll get a bunch of hot sauce videos, and then I'll stop doing the hot sauce videos, and then you might get some prepping videos. I'm all over the place, but that's pretty much the way I live my life too. So, like, I understand that my channel is very eclectic. It's all over like that, but I try to keep some content over on my Instagram. Like, when I do reviews on like books and stuff, that doesn't get a lot of views on YouTube, so I try to keep that stuff off of my YouTube. I keep that on the Instagram. Lately, I haven't been doing a lot of gun videos, even though my gun videos get a lot of views. That makes up the majority of the views on my channel is the gun videos. Sorry about that. Let me fix that beeping. Hold on. Gotta put my seatbelt on. Alright, that should stop. But yeah, the gun videos, I've been trying to stay away from them, even though they're my most popular videos, because YouTube's policies are ridiculous. And I actually got my first channel strike not too long ago. Well, it was more like a warning. I had to appeal it. They did take it away, thank God. So they took it away and they posted the video back up. So there wasn't any issues with that. It was a pain in the butt, though, to have to deal with them, because maybe somebody reported my video or something. I don't know. It was a video on how to, like, install a drop-in trigger. And somehow that got me a channel strike. So, I don't know. I've been trying to stay away from the gun stuff, but I will be doing more of that if... I want to. It's just, I got to be careful with the gun content. So, don't worry, guys, there will be more gun content coming. It is winter time now, so I can't really get outdoors much in the winter. It gets cold here in New Jersey. So the winter time's coming, fall's almost over. It's getting pretty chilly out. So I'm going to be doing more prepping videos, which brings me to my video today. I'm actually going to go to Harbor Freight. Well, I got some running around to do, which is what I'm doing now, but I'm going to stop at Harbor Freight today, and I'm going to do a survival kit from Harbor Freight. I'm going to put it all together myself. You can call it survival kit, get home bag, whatever you want to call it. Just a survival cache. I'm just going to go through Harbor Freight and get as many survival items as I can. I'm going to try and keep it affordable, just to show you guys what you can get from a store like Harbor Freight. I know this video has been done to death. Like, a ton of people do these, but I figured I'd give it a shot. I'll give it a try. I'll see what I can come up with, because some of the older videos out there, the products at Harbor Freight change from time to time. So you'll get new products in, and there's definitely some better stuff at Harbor Freight than what was there in the past. So we're gonna give that a shot, guys. So hopefully you guys are into that. You're into the prepping stuff. Like I said, I got some running around to do, and then I'm going to shoot over to Harbor Freight. I'm probably not going to film inside of Harbor Freight, because I don't know how they're going to, I don't know if they're going to be okay with that or not. And honestly, it's a little awkward. Just me making videos in general feels awkward, but to walk around to Harbor Freight and talk to myself with my camera going is going to be real weird. So I'm not going to film myself at Harbor Freight, but afterwards we'll do an overview of everything that I bought, and we'll go through the whole kit after I get everything purchased. So hang tight, guys. I'm heading over there now. Like I said, I got some running around to do, so I'm gonna pause the video here, and then I'll pick up again after I'm done doing all my shopping over at Harbor Freight. So hang tight, guys. Hey, what's going on, guys? So we're back from Harbor Freight, and I got all my stuff set up here on my table. I bought a whole bunch of stuff. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 items altogether. I know a lot of these videos, they try to do like 10 items or less or whatever, but I didn't care. The whole point of putting together this whole survival cache was I wanted to have something that like you can throw in your trunk and forget about it and not worry about it. You know it's always going to be there. Or like for instance, with the holidays coming up, like make a kit that you could leave at like your parents' house. Just stick it in the back of their garage. So if God forbid you're ever caught without any gear on you for some reason, that no matter where you are, you always have something. Like if I go visit my parents for Thanksgiving, it's Thanksgiving, and chances are I'm not bringing my bug out bag with me. I'm not carrying my gun. Like I'm not bringing things with me. I'm leaving all that crap at home on Thanksgiving. I just want to go enjoy time with my family. So it's a good idea to have a survival cache stowed away somewhere that you frequent. Like, I mean, ask permission first before you do it. Like I would ask my mother, like, hey, do you mind if I leave this in your house? If I just go stick it up in the attic or whatever, or even at like a friend's house that you go to a lot, just maybe ask them, hey, do you mind if I just leave this in the back of your garage? You won't even know it's there. Because there are times where you're going to leave the house, you're not going to have all your stuff on you. Yeah, when I go to work, I have my first aid kit, I have my EDC bag, I have everything that's on my person. You know, I have a ton of stuff with me. But if I'm just running to the grocery store or something, chances are I'm not going to have any gear with me. It's 5 minutes down the road. You know, I'm not thinking there's going to be an emergency. You know, we all get like that, even though we're preppers. Like, sometimes we leave the house without stuff. Like, I was at a wake the other day, and my brother goes, dude, are you carrying? I'm like, are you serious? I'm at a wake, man. Like, no, I'm not carrying at a wake. And then I thought, well, my car, I don't have anything in my car either, because I was going to a wake. I wasn't thinking about survival gear. But you always have to be prepared, guys. So my thought process with this kit was get enough stuff. I want to get essentials. Like I wanted to make sure I cover the 5 C's of survival. That's cutting tools, cordage, combustion, containers for carrying water, and cover. Okay? So I wanted to make sure I covered all those bases. So that was my main goal. Make sure I have those things covered. And then, of course, I follow the rule of 3, where 1 is none, 2 is 1. It's always better to have 3 of something. So I tried to follow that the best I could. Okay? Because when it comes to prepping, for me, the way I see it is you need to have a plan. That plan needs to have a backup plan. And that backup plan needs to have a contingency plan. That's my rule of 3. So 1 knife's not good enough. I better have 2. 2 knives, still not good enough. I want to have at least 3. So that's what I tried to stick with here. I tried to make sure to cover all my bases. But again, it's Harbor Freight. So Harbor Freight's a little tough. You know, they don't sell lighters and stuff like that. So you got to think outside the box when it comes to certain things, like with the combustion. Definitely had to think outside the box for that. Same thing with the containers. I I really had zero hope of finding any kind of a container at Harbor Freight, but I'll show you guys what I got. Like I said, I got it all laid out here, so I'm just going to switch the view on the camera here, and then I'll show you everything I got. We'll go over every piece one by one. All right, guys, so I got everything laid out on the table here. These are all the items I got. Like I said, I got 20 items. Over here, we've got our cover. We've got our cordage laid out here. We got combustion. We've got our cutting tools. We've got containers over here. And over here, we've got bonus items. So why don't we just go through everything one by one. I'll show you guys exactly what we did here. So we'll start over here with cover. Now, when it comes to cover, the way I see it is, and this wasn't my thing. I stole this from somebody on the internet. They say you should have something to sleep on, sleep in, and sleep under. That's your basic rules for sheltering. Now, I'm pretty sure I got that covered here. I picked up 4 items as far as cover goes. First thing, I picked up a tarp. The Harbor Freight has tons of tarps. You can get them in all kinds of different shapes, colors, and sizes. I like the camo ones. I actually keep a whole bunch of these. I have a huge supply of these stacked up in my garage. They're not bad, but they're not the greatest tarps from Harbor Freight. So, I mean, in a pinch, it'll definitely do the trick. So, I picked up one of these in the camo color, of course. Then, here, I picked up a poncho. I know it's this bright yellow color. Sometimes you may want a really bright color in an emergency situation. You may want to be able to signal to people. But this poncho definitely will help out in a situation like that. Now, honestly, you could probably get them cheaper. This, I think it was like $3.99 or something, which even for Harbor Freight, that's a bit expensive. You can get them online for a lot cheaper. You can even get them in bulk. So I wouldn't get this from Harbor Freight, but since I was there and I was putting the kit together, I just figured I'd snatch that up just to show you guys. Over here, we have, this is a moving blanket. Now these things, we used to use these in construction all the time. We'd use these as like tarps to pick up debris and stuff. You know, we'd cover furniture with them so we didn't mess anything up while we were working. But I also have a bunch of these. I think I have like 3 or 4 right now that me and my wife keep in our general camping supplies. We bring these camping with us whenever we go, and we will lay these down on the floor of the tent before we bring in the rest of our bedding. Before we bring in our sleeping bags or anything like that, we set up the tent, we put these down. And then we also keep a couple extra just for the dogs. So they're great. The dogs lay on them. They love them. They're not like a super warm blanket or anything. But again, in a pinch, this will definitely do. Now, Harbor Freight also has these in different sizes. So I just picked up, I don't know what size this is. They're 40 inch by 50 inch. They definitely have bigger ones. I think that was the smallest one though. Also, again, with the tarp, I got the 5 foot by 7 foot. They make them a lot bigger than that too. You can pick them up. And then also for cover, I found this. I had no clue that Harbor Freight sells stuff like this. It's a hammock. Like, you can't go wrong with a hammock, dude. That's pretty much your entire shelter all in one. You set that up and put the tarp over it, you're good to go. You don't even need the blanket or the poncho. I mean, that's just bonus stuff at that point. So I thought that was pretty cool that they're selling stuff like that now. So that right there, that covers our first C, our cover. Then we move on to cordage. Now, Harbor Freight, they have tons of cordage. They have all kinds of stuff you could think of, all different sizes. But I went with the tried and true paracord. Okay, I have tons of this stuff. My wife gets so mad at me because wherever we go, I buy paracord. If we go to the grocery store and they have paracord there, I'm buying a roll of paracord. I have in my garage, I honestly couldn't tell you how many feet of paracord I own. It's ridiculous. My wife refuses to let me buy any more because I have so much of this stuff. But I got 50 feet of just standard paracord here. And then I consider this cordage as well. Bungees. Bungees are great. I love bungees. Bungees are super useful. I don't think people utilize bungees enough when it comes to like survival and outdoor stuff. You don't see guys using bungees a lot. I always have bungees with me when I go outdoors. If I'm camping, I have bungees with me. If I'm hunting, there's a couple of bungees in my bag. I always have bungees with me. They're very versatile, very useful. You could use them for all kinds of things, strapping stuff to your bags or just hanging the tarp, like anything. Bungees are great. And then I'm counting this as cordage as well. It's good old duct tape. You can't go wrong with duct tape. This stuff's great. You can use it as cordage. You can use it as a fire starter. You can use it to repair that tarp over there. It can repair the blanket. It has a million uses. So no matter what kind of a survival kit you're putting together, always get yourself some duct tape. Now you don't need to have a 50-yard roll like this. You can cut this down. You can take like a little bit of that with you, throw it in your bag or whatever. It's fine. You don't have to bring that giant roll like that. But I mean, for this particular survival cache, I have the space, so I'm going to do a whole roll. Now, like I said, there was other rope and cordage there. They even had, it was called construction line. You use it for like marking out an area, like laying out where a deck's going to go, stuff like that, for getting a nice level line. But it's basically bank line. So you could have got a huge roll of like bank line too. They had that there. It was pretty cheap. It was under $5. But I forewent that. I didn't need the bank line too. I think this is plenty of cordage for now. So, and excuse the snoring. That's my dog behind me. She's snoring over here. Combustion. I only got 2 items for combustion because, like I said, it was a little tough. It's Harbor Freight. They don't have a lot in the way of starting a fire. So I picked up this here, magnesium fire starter. These things are actually really cool. I have a couple of these. I picked them up from Harbor Freight a while back. I learned to use them really well. It's just a block of magnesium, and it's got a ferricium rod on the side of it. So what you do is you scrape off the magnesium into a little pile, because it comes with, you can't really see it there, but behind it, there's like a little scraper thing. So you can scrape off the magnesium into a little pile. You use that scraper to strike the rod, and it throws a spark. And the magnesium goes up like crazy, dude. It starts crazy fires. I usually try to use this whenever I'm in my backyard and I'm starting up the fire pit just to get some practice in. I love these. These are in all of my fire starting kits. I keep one of those in there. And then I went over to the welding section, and I found this. It's a flint striker. Okay. We've all seen these. We've used them in school in like science class when you're lighting Bunsen burners and stuff. You flick this thing right here, and it's basically just like the flint in a lighter. It slides across the flint here, and it creates a spark. So that'll definitely work for combustion. But I mean, that was pretty much all they had. I mean, they did have they had like a, how do I explain it? They had like the top of a torch that goes on you could buy like those cans of propane or MAP gas or whatever. They did have those, but I mean, without the actual gas canister, it didn't make any sense. So I thought these were the best options that they had. I mean, you could always supplement that with a lighter or with matches or something like that. You don't have to stick to only what Harbor Freight has. So you can supplement that. Now, cutting implements. Okay. The cutting implements, Harbor Freight, holy crap, they have so many things you can cut with. I mean, there's saws, there's knives, there's utility blades, there's all kinds of stuff. So what I went with was, they actually had this here, this really nice looking knife. It's got a 6-inch blade on it. Comes with an actual leather sheath, like it's real leather, which I thought was really cool. And it's actually full tang. The tang goes all the way through this thing. So it's much better than I've seen these videos where they go out and they do these Harbor Freight survival kits. And back in the day, everybody used to buy they have that hollowed out Rambo knife with the hollowed handle and everything. Like one of those survival knives for like $8 or something like that, like super cheap. but that thing's like a piece of junk. So I think, honestly, I think this would hold up not too bad. This nice fixed blade knife. Looks like a nice hunting knife. I mean, you could probably baton with it for a little while too. So that's why I didn't get like a hatchet or an axe or anything, because I figured this fixed blade will do just fine for that. Then you can't have just a fixed blade. You got to have a folding knife too. So there was a lot of options for this, but this is the one I went with because I like the handle on this. Now, you can't really tell, but this handle is kind of like ribbed. It's got like a nice textured grip on it, which I know it's not a great knife. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna use it to replace like my Gerber. Like there's no chance. This thing's a badass. I love my Gerber knife. I love knives with the serration on them too. That's pretty cool. But anyway, like I was saying, I didn't buy this as like a replacement for that. This is just again, in case you have nothing on you and you have to go to your survival cache, just stored in your trunk or whatever, and you need a folding knife, this isn't half bad. It's got a clip on the back, it's stainless steel. It'll get the job done. But again, I like the handle on this just because of the grip on it. It almost feels like it's got like grip tape on it. It's actually pretty cool. So it shouldn't slip off or anything when you're trying to cut if you're in like wet conditions or your hands are dirty or muddy or whatever. So you should be okay. Now, like I said, they did have other options. Another option that I thought of possibly doing was utility knife. Like if you're trying to save money, they have those foldable utility knives. And then you don't even have to worry about keeping them sharp because they have the interchangeable razor blades. So if you buy a pack of blades too, anytime it dulls out, you just switch it out. You just switch the blade and you're good to go. So there are other options when it comes to folding knives. They even had the hawkbill knives, the ones that curve the opposite direction. I like those. Those are pretty cool. I actually have one that I carry from time to time. I use it as my EDC because it's a little smaller than my Gerber. So sometimes when I'm going somewhere a little more formal and I want to keep the knife hidden, I'll bring that one with me. But anyway, this is what I got as far as a folding knife goes. And then I found this in their like garden section, a nice pruning saw. Now, I've used the pruning saws from Harbor Freight before. They're not the best. Like for doing crap around the yard, it's okay. But if I'm going to be in like a survival situation, like my camping supplies, I keep a Fiskars in there. I don't chimp out when it comes to stuff like this. Sometimes you get what you pay for. And if you buy a Fiskars, it's going to outperform something like this any day of the week. But they do have these things there. So it's worth taking a look. It's worth throwing this in a kit because it's better than not having a saw at all. And I mean, you don't even have to get a folding saw per se. They have all kinds of other saws. The problem is they don't fold and you'd want to put some kind of sheath over it. So if you're a handy guy and you can make a sheath or something, go right ahead. You can pick up any other kind of saw and just put a sheath over it if you want to go that route. But I mean, for the couple of bucks you're going to save, it's not worth it. I mean, just get yourself a nice folding saw. And then kind of as like a bonus cutting item, I found these here. They're kind of like kitchen shears. All right, they were only 99 cents. I said, what the hell? Why not? Why not throw that in there? Can't hurt to have it. I mean, they'll cut just about anything. And they even got the like little nutcracker thing on there, which I think that could be useful too. So that's what we got in the way of cutting tools, guys, right here. Now, containers. This is where I thought I wasn't going to find anything. But apparently, Harbor Freight has these here. It's stainless steel. It's a tumbler. Now, the top has got this stupid plastic top on it, which isn't going to be very useful in like a survival situation. But again, better than nothing. It does have like a seal on it. It's got like a gasket on there. I can't even get it off with one hand. It does have that gasket, so it's probably not going to spill. But the problem with this is I've never used one of these before. It's insulated, So like I've never used one of these in a like survival situation. So because it's insulated, I don't know if this will survive over a fire for heating up water. I don't know how well that would work. I mean, I'd have to give it a shot. I could test that out and see. But I mean, this is all they had. So it's either this or nothing. So I figured, well, give it a shot. Why not? And then in a pinch, I have this ammo can back here. Now, I bought this. It's a 50 caliber plastic ammo can. I love these from Harbor Freight. I usually buy the 30 caliber ones for storing my ammo in, obviously. But I figured I could unpackage all this and throw it in that ammo can. It should all fit in there. But, again, in a pinch, that ammo can could work as a container for carrying water. I know that sounds kind of silly, but if we open it up here, these ammo cans, even the plastic ones, hold on, let me show you. They do have a gasket in there. They have that rubber gasket. It's got a rubber seal. And I'm sure these aren't 100% waterproof. I don't know. I've never tested them. I've never submerged them to find out. But in a pinch, you could carry a hell of a lot of water in there. You could fill that up, close it up, and carry it to wherever you got to go. That's going to hold a ton of water. I mean, I don't know how big that would be, but that looks to be maybe at least a gallon. So you got like a whole gallon of water there if you need to in a pinch. So there you go, guys. Even at Harbor Freight, I found containers for carrying water. Like I said, I'm not sure if I can boil water in that tumbler, but yeah, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. And then we move over here. I got a couple of bonus items as well. Now, this doesn't fit the 5 Cs. That's fine, because you still need other things besides the 5 Cs. The 5 Cs are just basics. Now, this just makes life a little more comfortable. So, I picked up a pack of these here, carabiners. I know they're not the greatest. They're not going to hold a load. You're not going to go rock climbing with them or anything. But they're great for keeping gear in order, you know. They're great for hanging things. You can do all kinds of things with carabiners, so why the hell not? So you got an assortment of them there, a bunch of different colors and sizes. Aside from that, I got a nice pair of work gloves. Okay, I got these here with the leather on them. I keep this same exact pair in my camping supplies because I like having the leather. I like something heavy duty. I always protect my hands. Back when I did construction, even today, like everything I do, I will always have a pair of gloves on. If you lose the use of your hands, you're useless, man. You're not going to be able to do anything without having your hands. So always protect your hands, guys. And the ones with the leather, I like these because if you are working with fire, they do give you a little bit more resistance. So like if I put this cup over the fire, I could put those gloves on and just grab it and pull it out of there, no problem. I wouldn't have to worry about it. So always protect your hands. Always get a nice set of gloves like that. Now over here, we have, this can kind of go with cutting, I guess. One of the 5 Cs. It's a sharpening stone. It's a little bigger than I'd like. It's a little clunky. You know, this is more like a sharpening stone you'd keep in your workshop, which I actually do have one of those in my workshop from Harbor Freight. It's in my garage right now as we speak. But they work very well. I mean, they're real simple to use. You got to keep your cutting implements sharp. If they're not sharp, they're not going to be any good. They're not of any use to you if they're not actually able to cut anything. And then my last 2 items here, I figured we need some kind of light source, right? Now, a lot of guys have resorted to using these headlamps nowadays. I'm old school, man. I don't like the whole headlamp thing. I'm not a fan of it. When I'm outdoors, I usually just have a flashlight with me. Even when I'm not outdoors, I usually have a flashlight in my pocket. And in all of my bags, I have a flashlight. So I always carry some kind of source of light with me. But I like these because we keep a bunch of these around the house. There's one attached to the fridge. They have the these little magnets on them. I have one attached to my refrigerator. I have one attached to my gun safe. You know, we have them all over the place. They also have these little hooks. You can pop this hook out, hang it from whatever. These things are so handy, and they're actually really bright. Like, I don't want to shine it right at the camera, but I mean, they have 2 different light sources. Shines from the front or from the top. These things are awesome, and they're under $2. And Harbor Freight every now and again just gives them away. If you have the coupon, they give these away for free. So I got a whole bunch of these laying around the house, but like I said, I picked one up for the kit here. And then also I got this here. Instead of like a standard flashlight or a headlamp, I went with a lantern. I like a lantern style of light, and this thing is super bright. I like that it's got the handle here. Okay, so you can hang that. You know, you can hang it from your gear using those carabiners. You can do whatever, or you can put it on a table like that. Whatever you want to do. And then let me see here. I'll try and open this up. Yeah, if you pop this open, this thing is super bright. I know you can't really tell on camera, but if I turned all the lights off in this room, this would illuminate the whole damn room. Super bright light here, guys. And the best part about it is it only runs on like 3 AA batteries. So that's it, guys. That's a look at everything I picked up for this survival kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to open all this stuff up so I can fit it all into that ammo can, because there's no way I could fit it in there with all this packaging and everything right now. So I'm going to try and squeeze it all in there. Hopefully it all fits. I think my only problem might be the blanket and the tarp. I may not be able to squeeze that in there. But if I open everything else up, I should be able to squeeze it all in there. So let me go ahead and try and get that done, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, so check it out. I fit everything in the ammo box except for the tarp, the blanket, and the bungee cords. Unfortunately, I could not make that fit, but that problem isn't going to be my issue because I'm giving this stuff away. One of my subscribers, that's you guys, because I'm so grateful that you got me to 500 subscribers and it's Thanksgiving, I figure I'm going to do a giveaway. This stuff belongs to you guys. It doesn't belong to me. It's all because of you guys that I even have a channel at all. So I'm very thankful for that, and I want to give this away to one of my subscribers. So in order to win the survival cache here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post my email in the description underneath the video. So there'll be a link to my email. You could just email me at brassmonkeyx@gmail.com. Okay. Just email me put something in the subject line about survival cache or giveaway or 500 subscribers, whatever, something so that I know you're interested in the giveaway. And then just give me your name. It can be your first name if you don't want to give me your full name. It can be, you know, a screen name that you use. I don't care. Just give me some kind of name. And then I'm going to put everybody I'm going to write down all the names. You're all going to be assigned a number. And in true Dungeons and Dragons style, I'm going to roll to pick a winner at a later date. I'll do a video when I choose the winner, and then I'll contact you personally through your email and let you know that you've won. But in order to enter, guys, I know I have some people that don't even live in America who watch my videos. So if you're not in the US, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to enter because I don't even know how to begin shipping this out of country. It's going to end up costing me more money in shipping than the items actually cost. So I'm not going to ship it out of state. So if you're not in the US, unfortunately, you can't enter. And please, guys, you have to be 18 years old. You have to be an adult. I don't want to get in some kind of trouble for mailing a box full of survival items to like a 12-year-old kid. You got to be 18 years old. It's the last thing I need is to get in trouble for sending a Bowie knife to a 12-year-old. You know what I mean? So those are my only stipulations. You're 18 years old and you live in the United States. All you got to do is enter via the email that I have posted in the description, and I'll do a drawing. I don't know when I'm going to do it. It's going to be after Thanksgiving. So maybe 2 weeks from now, maybe I'll give you guys 2 weeks to enter. So yeah, that sounds pretty good. Maybe about 2 weeks. But either way, I'll post a video when I choose the winner, so you'll know when the giveaway is over. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.